Right before Triple H sucker punched Kurt Angle, a photographer snapped the perfect shot that captured the exact moment that Kurt let his guard down. He had no idea what was coming, and thanks to that photographer for giving us this funny and iconic meme. Finn Balor usually lands the coup de grace without a problem, but not this time. During an NXT house show with a low ceiling, Finn Balor jumped so high that he smashed into the ceiling, and somehow a fan in the crowd took a photo at the exact moment that it happened. Logan Paul isn't exactly the most loved guy in WWE, so I'm sure a lot of fans loved it when Jey Uso hit him with a super kick and it landed right on his jaw. And thanks to this perfectly timed photo, we get to zoom in and enjoy every second of it. It reminds me of the time that Sheamus hit Wade Barrett with a brutal bro kick and got every bit of it. The timing of this photo is unreal, and the photographer probably deserves a raise for this shot. But honestly, Roderick Strong's knee to Rocky Romero in AEW might take the crown. If you zoom in, you could literally see Rocky's nose pushed to the other side of his face. That is absolutely insane. Now let's shift over from perfectly timed face shots to perfectly timed Gunther chops. The first photo is actually the windup, and it explains everything. You could actually see how far back Gunther cocks his arm before unleashing that monster chop. No wonder they sound like gunshots. Then you got this shot of him smacking Sheamus. You can literally see part of his chest caving in from the impact. And the aftermath, well, that was even worse. But that doesn't even compare to the chop that he gave Goldberg. His chest was wrecked even more than Sheamus, but the best part is Goldberg smiling through it all. That is an unhinged reaction that makes the photo even more legendary. Still, the greatest chop photo of all time happened in NXT UK. Gunther did not just chop this poor guy, he tried to damn near end his life. At this point, this is not wrestling, and it might be time to ban his chop. Pllana isn't the only person that Bobby Lashley got intimate with on WWE TV programming. It also happened with William Regal in this perfectly timed photo. I don't think I even want to look for the context of this photo. I'm just going to go ahead and say that it looks like The Undertaker is digging for some gold, if you know what I mean. I hope he found what he's looking for. Nothing is freakier than this photo with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, and I think the GIF is even worse. Maybe it would have been a little bit better to leave this spot out of the damn match. Samoa Joe is one of the funniest wrestlers of all time, whether that's roasting Jeff Hardy or simply moving out of the way during these spots, and you can also add this perfectly timed photo to the list. At WrestleMania 20, we saw Evolution take on the Rock and Sock Connection, and I think Batista might have been way too excited because this is him during their entrance. It's a funny reaction, and it reminds me of the time of Mojo Rawley also being caught doing the same thing in this photo. This is even funnier when you consider the fact that he looks worried about the height that he got from his own jump. Do you remember the time that Randy Orton started doing splits for absolutely no reason at all in 2011? Well, we got these two hilarious pictures from it, and I think we all had the same reaction as Booker T when seeing this. The pile driver is one of the most devastating moves in wrestling history, and Stone Cold's reaction tells me that Shawn Michaels might have released some gas to try to get out of the move. The Miz had Santino Marella in a chokehold during one of their matches, and that is when Santino's tattoo aligned perfectly and it made The Miz look like Mr. Pringles. Another tattoo timed perfectly was Kevin Owens and his dinosaur tattoo. It looks like the dinosaur is trying to eat Apollo Crews. Talk about unfair handicap matches. We all know that Shawn Michaels is the king of overselling. We've seen it in his match with Hulk Hogan, but nothing beats this photo when he does a headstand after taking a big boot. If you ever need to explain HBK to anyone, just show them this photo and they will understand. The second greatest overseller is probably Dolph Ziggler. He's done some goofy selling over the years, and this perfect shot is another great example. This is the exact moment that Seth Rollins got launched straight into the photographer, caught just seconds before he crashed into the poor cameraman. It was the exact moment that he knew that he f***ed up. Brock Lesnar is one of the scariest and most dominant forces in WWE history. If you need proof, just look at Michael Cole and his reaction when taking the F5 from the Beast. LA Knight and Roman Reigns are some of the only wrestlers on the roster right now with unlimited aura, and so this perfect picture happens so naturally. It's one of the best shots of all time. Brock Lesnar's shooting star press at WrestleMania 19 is one of the most iconic moments ever, and we got 3 perfectly timed photos. The first is Brock Lesnar in mid-air before the flip, the next photo is after the flip seconds before the landing, and the third is the landing gone wrong. The fact that he walked away without any serious injuries is truly a miracle. When Hell in a Cell was first introduced, it was up to Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker to make it feel like the most brutal match type WWE had ever created. And after an absolutely savage war, this photo says it all. It was bloody, brutal, and iconic. Mick Foley had the impossible task of living up to the standard set by Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, but somehow he made it even more vicious, and this iconic image shows his tooth lodged in his nose. Mankind was truly built different. Before Penta ever stepped foot in WWE, he was already known for some of the wildest matches in wrestling. And after one brutal battle, we got this incredible shot where his mask was barely hanging on by a thread. It's a tough photo and it gives off Spider-Man vibes. Jeff Hardy's Swanton Bomb is one of the greatest finishers of all time, and let's be honest, it's something that we all try to recreate off of our couches when we were younger. And this photo might be the best one ever taken of it. You got the perfect form with that flash of light behind him. It looks like something out of a superhero movie. Jey Uso's rise in popularity is honestly hard to put into words, but this photo comes pretty close. The entire crowd, with all their flashlights doing the yeet taunt with him, perfectly captures just how over he really is. The Undertaker and Randy Orton delivered one of the best feuds of all time, and it ended with a perfect shot of The Undertaker literally standing tall on the Hell in a Cell while Randy is being carried out of the ring. It shows what happens when you mess with the dead man. For nearly 20 years, John Cena was the face of WWE. He's made an impact on millions of people around the world, and this photo says it all. Roman Reigns will go down as one of the greatest champions in wrestling history, and this photo captures exactly why. Speaking of Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40 marked the end of his historic title reign, and the moment Seth Rollins came out to right a decade-old wrong, he finally got his receipt and someone captured the perfect shot to prove it. You could not have had a better ending of Ric Flair's legendary wrestling career. He deserved this perfectly timed photo with the smoothest sweet chin music of all time. While a lot of people like to hate on Logan Paul, you've got to admit that it was very impressive that he gave us this iconic wrestling shot within the first few months of his career. Nobody can ever match The Undertaker's aura. Just look at these 2 photos. And lastly, we have a fan who captured the iconic Jeff Hardy and Edge spear from the crowd. It just doesn't get better than this. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and here's some other videos I think you might enjoy.